till you die. Life is short, or some may say. What else is there but to rock it away? The days of the hour, I do in the shower. Never a flop, there's no reason to stop. I got my own guitar, I know all the chords. I play my cigar, lay it flat on the floor. The east and the west, the battle won't matter. Only the music can settle the score. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turning to bone. So rock till you die. Yeah, balls should protect my eyes, and when taking my flesh. But I got the power to win all the hours to rock my life away. The sound of the crowd, the creak of the bones. I play it so loud with my mates or alone. It don't really matter if my world should shatter. I hold it together till I turn to stone. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn back to bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die.
Hey guys, welcome to the True Blue Riffcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Dave. My name is Christine DeBelle, but many of you know me as Susan from A Talking Cat. And as you know, I have to go and get my cheese puffs out of the oven. So have a great time with Jeremy and Dave. See you soon.
Thanks, Christine. This is the True Blue Riffcast, the number one Riff Tracks podcast in the world. I am Jeremy, and I'm joined, as always, by...
Sup, everyone? It's me, Dave. How's everybody doing?
Whoo, what's going on, Dave? Yes, Van Poolerman, Rock Till You Die, definitely.
Nothing's going on. I definitely was able to make it to Riff Tracks Live, and that's something we're both going to talk about here today. Because us being the number one Riff Tracks fans and everything.
Hey, look.
You would think we would make that a priority in our lives.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I mean, everybody's familiar with my situation, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't drive an hour and a half each way, after I get done working from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's just not feasible.
Yeah. I will say, I had planned on going. But I want to give myself a little bit of privacy here, because you and I both know, Jeremy, that there are people on the internet that don't like me very much.
Yeah.
But there were circumstances that forced me to have to sit this one out. I wasn't happy about it.
No, he was not. I can vouch for that.
Yeah. So we are going to talk about Riff Tracks Live. What the hell was the movie? Revenge of the Swamp Creature.
Return of the Swamp Thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Or Revenge of the Swamp Creature. Why not? That works too.
Yeah. I was confusing it with Creature from the Haunted Sea.
Yeah.
But we are going to talk about that, but we'll talk about it when the VOD comes out.
Yes. Simply because neither of us was able to watch.
Yeah, neither of us were able to attend. We would have attended if circumstances had allowed us to, unfortunately. And that is kind of a bummer because we only got one Riff Tracks Live this season.
Yeah.
I think that's probably how it's going to be from here on out, honestly.
Yeah. The only thing I was able to go see in theaters was Dragon Ball Superhero.
Did you really
talk
see
about
that?
I did with my son. We'll talk about that in a little bit. First, we're going to be talking about Split Second today, which came out a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Or a week and a half ago, something like that. 1992, Rutger Hauer, the greatest Dutch actor of all time, as he was voted by his people. And
what about Nikolai Castor-Waldo, Jamie Lannister?
He was not.
He was in Shot Caller. Isn't that what everyone knows him from? Shot Caller.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is.
Did anybody watch that Game of Thrones show last night? Did anybody care about that? No. Okay.
What is it? House of the Dragon or whatever?
House of the Dragon. Yeah.
Nope. Didn't watch it. Don't care.
Related. I can bring it up because Riff Tracks has done 2 Game of Thrones episodes.
Out of all of the episodes, they did the Red Wedding, which still amazes me that that's the episode that they chose to do.
Yeah, they did the pilot. And they did the Red Wedding.
The Red Wedding. We're also going to be taking a look, of course, at the weekend box office. And before we get into what the hell is James Wan up to, we want to send some birthday wishes out to the one and only Rick Sloan.
Rick Sloan, director of Hobgoblins. Hobgoblins, and so on.
We've talked about him a few times on the podcast
here.
And Rick, hey, come on the podcast.
Yes, come on the podcast.
We'll have you on the podcast.
Rick Sloan actually helped me write one of the stories for Mystery Science Storybook. This is a true story. And I'll save it for if/when he's on the podcast.
Yeah. Now we get to move on to something really fun, which is quickly becoming my favorite department on the podcast. And that's what the hell is James Wan up to?
For me, it becomes, every time we do it, I think it was my idea.
Yeah, I think so.
But every time we do it, I like it less and less.
So,
that's not to say we shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that it just is it's been 6 years and I'm still very angry.
A couple days ago, James Wan posted this one. This was on the 16th of August. Birdemic 3 will be submitted to the 95th Oscars for consideration.
Of course it will.
But this is a full list of the different categories that he's going to apply for. Okay, or submit this for. Best Picture, Birdemic 3, Sea Eagle.
Yeah.
Best Screenplay, James Wan.
Yeah, of course it is.
Best Director, James Wan. Best Actor, Ryan Lord. Best Actress, Julia Colbert. Best Supporting Actor, Mark Danola.
So all the categories.
Not even throwing Alan a bone on that one. Best Original Song, Cosmic Beauty.
By the one and only Damian Carter.
Yep. But then he also talked about some dates that he's going to be premiering this film.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is at Fantastic Fest in Austin. That's going to be the actual world premiere. Fantastic Fest in Austin. They show a bunch of... Yep. Yeah, at the Alamo Drafthouse, I believe. Yep. They always do this thing where it's like a 2 or 3 day long, basically marathon of all these new movies that are out, mostly like independent features and stuff like that. And it's, you sit there in your seat for like 2 days and watch movies.
Hi, no thanks.
But he's also going to be having a premiere in San Francisco on October 1st.
Oh, please let that be at the San Francisco. What is that place called that's in The Room and it's in Julie and Jack?
Oh, yeah. I hope that's... I don't remember the name of it, but I really hope that's what it is.
It's like the iconic like it's a monument to fine arts or some stupid thing.
That would be amazing. And then some other screenings that he hasn't given dates for. He is doing a premiere in Hollywood. It just says Hollywood premiere, October 1st for the Oscars qualification. So that must be the San Francisco one, I'm guessing.
How is he paying for all this?
More Birdemic screening soon. And then it says San Francisco, which he already gave us San Francisco, New York, Philadelphia. And then you ready for these last two?
I am, because I already know what's coming.
London and Paris.
Is New York on there?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
London and Paris, folks. Now, he's probably talking about like Paris, Texas, or as Dave pointed out, there's a Paris in Idaho.
Yes, there's a Paris in Idaho. If he does it at the Bear Lake Tabernacle in Paris, Idaho, I will drive up there personally just so I can punch him in the balls on a historic Mormon site.
I was going to ask if you were going to hit him in the face, but I think that works too.
I will punch him right in his nutsack.
Yes. And you better film it too if you do that, because
it's gonna be a meme. It's gonna be meme-tastic. Dave Chadwick, unknown man punches unknown filmmaker in the nutsack, in his unknown nutsack. 3 unknowns right there. Did he ever get back with you about coming on the podcast, or do you think he's wise that I'm on it?
Probably.
He probably doesn't even remember me.
He might not, but he does seem to not be interested. He never replied. I think he sent me like a wave emoji back or something. So it's really dumb. So that's what the hell James Wen is up to. Now we get to move on to the weekend box office. And that movie that I said I went to go see last weekend. Actually, we saw it on Friday. Dragon Ball Superhero, one of the weirdest titles. Number 1 in the box office, taking in a little over $20 million. Yes,
did you understand what was going on in that movie?
I did.
Did you really? Really?
Yes, I did. Josh says that video of you punching James would be a good Patreon exclusive video. I don't think we would limit it to Patreon though, Josh, because I would want that to be widespread.
I'm sure there is an animated GIF out there somewhere. No, here, somebody out there. This is just a challenge. This is a True Blue Riff Tracks challenge, and if you do this, I'll send you a free audiobook of your choosing.
There you go, Josh. This is all you.
Yeah, well, I mean, Josh is going to... Well, I won't get into that. But it's not like his wife is recording one of the audiobooks.
Yeah.
But somebody out there get an animated GIF of Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat doing his nutsack punch. Put my face on Johnny Cage's face and put James Wen on whoever's getting hit in the nutsack, and you get a free audiobook. I'm putting it out there.
That's great. I love that.
That is my offer.
Yeah. I did understand Dragon Ball Superhero. I've watched almost all of the Dragon Ball Super stuff.
You're older than me. How is that possible?
Well, let's see. I started watching it in the 90s.
It's that old?
Well, because there was Dragon Ball, and then Dragon Ball Z, and now Dragon Ball Super was the latest. And this was just a movie that was kind of a parallel story to the show.
Is this that man with the orange suit and the crazy hair?
Yeah, it's Goku. Except Goku, it was about his son, who is also an adult now.
Okay.
Yeah. The number 2 movie on the weekend box office, Beast, the new movie starring Idris Elba about some people being stalked by a lion in the savannah or something. Bullet Train, number 3, which I do actually want to see that one.
That's a sequel to Money Plane.
Money Plane, and then the sequel Bullet Train. I wish.
Yeah.
Yes, we gloss over GT, Atomic Hero Squad, because it's GT. Top Gun Maverick hanging in at 4th place. Has now brought in $683 million. DC League of Super Pets. And then Thor Love and Thunder right after that. And then Nope, and Minions, and Elvis down in 11th. Jurassic World all the way down towards the bottom. E.T., interestingly enough, sitting at 20th place because apparently it had a re-release in movie theaters this year.
Yes, because there are some theaters out there who didn't get the message that no one cares about COVID anymore.
Yeah, we can put new movies in the theater, guys. It is a thing that can happen. Unless you're HBO Max and you're just ditching everything. Have you heard about the latest in this debacle, Dave?
About HBO Max?
About HBO Max and the more stuff that they're... Well, it's not... It's Warner Brothers Discovery is the new company.
Well, I know what's not going to be on there is Batgirl.
Yeah, they ditched Batgirl. They've also removed a significant amount of HBO Max original movies.
Sesame Street.
And they got rid of 200 episodes of Sesame Street. They've been dumping Cartoon Network shows off of there that some of them were in the middle of premiering, like in the middle of seasons, and they're just erasing them, literally erasing them from existence. They're dumping them from the streaming service. They are removing any reference to them. Some of them had tweets about them, like on the Cartoon Network official account, and those have all been deleted. Like anything referring to the fact that these shows have ever existed is gone.
Well, why are they doing this?
It's so they can save money on not paying taxes on stuff and not paying creator royalties anymore. They said they're trying to find a way to save like $6 million or something like that. And so they're ditching all this stuff so they don't have to pay royalties or taxes.
Well, I mean, can we just be brutally honest with Sesame Street in the very least? Anything after, I mean, the Muppets too, really. Anything that has anything to do with like that is Muppet related or Jim Henson related, it's all garbage after he's dead.
But that's not what they're getting rid of.
Like
they're getting rid of the old stuff.
Anything after 1990 is just trash. But are they getting rid of old stuff from Sesame Street?
That's what I've seen is that they've been getting rid of the old stuff. Like the good stuff, the classic stuff.
Oh, you mean back when it was just like straight up awesome sketch comedy, like, you know, when they didn't treat children like morons?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
What was that? Teeny Little Super Guy. Teeny Little Super Guy. Where he's like a glass. And it's like this stop motion animation of this glass man talking to all the other people. Yeah, that's great.
They had some good stuff back there.
That's crazy. Stuff. It's a good thing I don't own HBO Max.
I don't either. I don't pay for it.
I canceled
I
Disney Plus,
but I don't pay for it.
I'm gonna cancel Netflix here pretty soon because it's too expensive and there's nothing I like on there anymore.
You canceled Disney Plus. Are you gonna pick it back up when Mando comes back out?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it back up when Mandalorian. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But in the meantime, I'm just like, why am I paying for this? I'm not like the only reason I could think to keep it was for The Simpsons. But it's just like I have all the seasons I want on DVD because that's how old I am, and I keep all that stuff.
Yeah. But that's it for for the domestic box office for the weekend. And before we get into Split Second, we have this wonderful 1 minute ad. We'll be right back.
We have ads?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you forget?
Well, yeah,
you
but
actually would not be affected by this because you're subscribed to the channel.
Oh, good. So when I go back and listen to it in the archive, I'll be able to hear this.
Yes.
Okay.
I gotta find my thing here. No. There we go. Yeah, they're HBO. Or sorry, it's not. It's they're taking the stuff off of HBO Max, but it's not HBO that's doing it. It's Warner Brothers Discovery. They're like tearing the service to pieces. I think they should sell off DC. Just sell off DC, and you'd have enough money right there.
They sell off DC. Like, what are they gonna? What comics are they gonna ruin if they sell off DC?
Nothing, and that's the point. All right, and we're back. Thanks for sticking around through the wonderful little
We weren't talking about comics. What?
No, not at all. But now we're going to talk about the 1992 Rutger Hauer film Split Second, I guess. This movie, at least the version that Riff Trax showed, I don't know if they had an altered version or whatever, because sometimes they get some with little bits cut out, but there were still boobs in this from Kim Cattrall. I know, big surprise. Everybody's shocked about that.
No, but this movie also has glow-in-the-dark nipples.
Yes.
If I were naming the podcast episodes, that's what this should be called, glow-in-the-dark nipples.
Glow-in-the-dark nipples. Well, maybe I'll change it. We did have, pancake nipples the size of pancakes or something for Suburban Sasquatch, so maybe.
Did we?
Maybe we'll change it. I swear it was nipple something.
That was like 2.5 years ago. I don't remember. That was like way back. That was like Tiger King times. That was like 10 years ago.
But yeah, this movie was bad, guys. Like, and not in the good way. I know we talk about that from time to time, and we'll talk about that a little more when we get to the character / personality of the film. But
okay. Let's define some parameters for bad in a good way, and let's just throw out some movies that are bad in a good way that people in our audience would be familiar with. I'll start. Yes.
I'll start.
But I said I'll start, but you jump in front of me. That's okay. That's a rare thing for you. Usually I do that.
Right.
But
my turn.
Now I know what it feels like. No, but I was going to say, and I am saying now, Money Plane.
Money Plane, yeah. Yeah.
Thanos,
The Hands of Fate.
Twilight.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one. That's a real good one. I'm going to say Transformers. I'm going to say Transformers because, one, the riff of that is great.
Is outstanding, yeah.
And two, we've been rewatching through The Good Place.
That is a good show.
And they are at the point where they were trying to sneak from the bad place to the judge to get to the good place. And Ted Danson's character, Michael, stopped by to see his boss, Sean, and he told him he needed to Axe up, and he threw him a can of Axe body spray, and the scent was Transformers, and it smelled how watching the Michael Bay movies made you feel. And later on in that episode, Kristen Bell's character, Eleanor, was just like,
Wouldn't you like to smell my farts?
Why do you smell loud and incoherent?
Oh, God.
And I thought that was pretty
one more thing about The Good Place before we move on.
Yes.
Am I the only one who figured out that Ted Danson was the devil in season 1, like way before it happened?
Probably not.
Okay. Because it's just like they're in hell. They're in hell. Of course they're in hell. I mean, like what? I mean, like, is there anybody who doesn't realize that Ted Danson is actually the devil? I mean, as far as we knew from like how that show worked at that time.
Yeah.
It's just like there's no way he's not the devil. But I don't know. But it's still a good show. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that if you didn't realize that Ted Danson was the devil, like from the very first, then I don't know what to do for you. It's like that. That's like not knowing that Senator Palpatine was the Emperor in the Star Wars prequels. You're a very strange person.
Oh man!
But
yeah,
now,
so the bad
now
movies that are just bad.
Bad movies that are bad in a bad way.
Baby Ghost.
Okay, yeah. Oh, how you got me going. How disappointing was that? Something that we thought we wanted so bad for so long, and then we got it. It's just like, oh God. Maybe Mike Nelson was absolutely correct for not wanting to do this.
Josh said Roller Gator, but I'm not sure if he's behind in the conversation or if he's in the current.
I think he's trolling us.
I think you just might have made an enemy, Josh.
He's trolling us. He can't really mean that. But I would say Copper Mountain.
Yeah, and we'll kind of talk about that.
Yeah. We came up with a term that we're going to start using from now on.
But there's a lot of movies that are bad, just bad, and some of them get riffed, and it makes it better. At least.
Ready Player One, I will say, is bad in a bad way.
Ready Player One is awful bad. It's not even just it's bad awful. There we go, bad awful.
Yeah.
That's one of those movies that's just like the whole premise is, hey, remember this?
Yeah, hey, they're like, look at, oh my gosh, it's Zorro and Captain Picard, and
it's Mechagodzilla.
It's the rapist from A Clockwork Orange, and they're all together.
No, that was Space Jam too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard he was in that. Just like, oh my God, why?
Oh man. But Split Second is definitely on the bad spectrum. This movie was an hour and 19 minutes long. Okay. An hour and 19 minutes long.
Shorter than general, like historically general Riff Tracks fare. It is shorter than that.
And it felt like it was 2.5 hours long at least. Oh, here we go. Josh says he just recently saw Avatar for the first time and doesn't understand the appeal at all. Thank you, Josh. I have not watched that movie, and I have no desire to. Nothing about it. It's like
I've only ever seen it with the Riff Tracks. It's an A+ Riff Tracks, although I've only seen it once, and it's amazing. It's outstanding. You and Colette should watch that.
Oh, they watched it with riffs, of course. He said.
Oh, good.
Yeah, if you can watch a movie with riffs, always choose to do so.
Yeah.
As we've discussed many times on this podcast, always watch it with the riffs. Split Second is about London in 2008.
Oh, no, wait. We have to introduce our new term.
Oh, yes. Okay. This has to do with the movie feeling like it was at least an hour longer than the actual runtime.
Yeah.
And Dave, what's the term for that?
Okay, so I have come up with a term because like we have the ghost house effect, which is
the Urkel effect.
What's that?
The Urkel effect.
The Urkel effect. So another term we're adding to the True Blue Riff Tracks lexicon, another effect, if you will, is the Copper Mountain effect.
Yes.
Where something that is super short but feels way, way longer because it's just so god awful.
Yes, and we're going with Copper Mountain for that because, you
think
listened to that one, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, like it just epitomizes like that feeling watching Copper Mountain, and that's kind of what this is. I don't think this is as bad as Copper Mountain. I think there are some redeeming. Copper Mountain has 0 redeeming features. This, I think, does a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think for me, if you've listened to this podcast, I'd say for about the past year, I'm really sick of future dystopia with garbage cans on fire. Now, this is 2/3 of the way there. It's future and future.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm using the scare quotes. Future dystopia, but the garbage cans on fire are replaced with just like water everywhere.
Flooded streets, yes. Nathan James Norman in the chat says we could call it the CPE for short.
The CPE, yes, CPE.
CPE, I like that. But yeah, this movie takes place in 2008. Now remember, this came out in 1992. It takes place in 2008 after global warming basically has flooded London.
Okay, now if you were listening last time, I criticized James Wen or somebody. I can't remember what, but we were talking about global warming.
It was James Wen.
Not to get political or anything. And I specifically said, do you remember this? I specifically said, if you're going to have an argument about global warming, don't put a date on it, because we're all going to live to see that date and you're going to be proven wrong. Okay? Just put it out like 10 billion years in the future. That way you won't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
This
if it does happen before that, then hey, it happens before that. But if it doesn't, then you don't look like
you don't look stupid.
Grifting everybody.
These people look so dumb.
Yeah, because in '92, global warming wasn't even that big of an issue amongst people.
People
weren't talking about global warming back in 1992. Not
the way it has been for the last 15 years. Yeah.
But yes, moving back to the movie, we are following the psychotic Harley Stone, played by Rutger Hauer, as he gets his new partner, Dick Durkin. As they say in the riff, named by Stan Lee.
Whoever wrote this screenplay needs to go to prison.
That would be Gary Scott Thompson.
Is he in prison? He should be there.
Oh, he looks like he should be in prison. Oh man, let's see. He wrote. Oh, really?
Oh no, I have a feeling some mind explodey stuff is about to happen here. Brace for impact, everybody.
Not anything like Riff Tracks related, really.
Oh.
But he wrote The Fast and the Furious.
What?
And Too Fast, Too Furious.
He wrote The Fast and the Furious?
Yeah.
Well, that is Riff Tracks related.
Well, yeah, it is. I just mean nothing like crazy Riff Tracks, like, Roller Gator or something.
Yeah. He wrote Roller Gator.
Yeah, he wrote a couple
Oblivion.
episodes. He wrote a couple episodes of the reboot version of Knight Rider from the mid 2000s. Yeah, it was bad. He wrote some episode of Angry Beavers, the old cartoon. Yeah.
Yes,
but he wrote Split Second way back in 1992.
That premiered when I was in high school. Yes, that old cartoon.
Yes, he also wrote Time Cop 2. Hey, that's like 1999, man. That's a long time ago.
Hey, man, don't say that.
It's 23 years ago. So
I know, that was the year I graduated high school. Don't say that. I'll just be forced to remind you that Manos, The Hands of Fate, Riff Tracks Live was a decade ago. I'm just going to remind you of that, okay? How do you feel now?
Old? I always feel old, though. You know why? Because I'm old.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the actual movie itself. Gary needs to go to jail. But Harley Stone is described, and I kid you not, by his chief as a person who survives on coffee, chocolate, and anxiety.
That doesn't... Hold on. What?
He survives on coffee, chocolate, and anxiety.
Okay, I watched this movie. I feel like I would remember that.
Also, the Dick Durkin. Dick Durkin, his new partner is he just happens to be an Oxford-educated psychologist, but now he's a rookie police officer, and he has to follow
he goes around
Harley around all the time because Harley seems to think that there's this serial killer eating people's hearts, and nobody believes him for whatever reason. Even though they find corpses with their chests ripped open and their hearts gone. And then they get a heart delivered in a cooler with a bite taken out of it to the the police station.
Okay, all right. So here's what I want to know. And it just the synapse just triggered in my mind when you said they're able to do all these things that we're able to do now. But it's basically like Waterworld, right? Like that's like I don't want to say it's the central premise, but it's
that flooded.
it's the backdrop where people are like it's really the backdrop. It really has nothing to do with the plot.
No, it was just a way for them to have water literally on every set.
So they there's water basically like everything is flooded because global warming and everything is raining in the year 2008.
Yeah, it's been raining for it was 40 days of torrential rain.
Yeah,
so they were trying to get a little biblical with it, I think.
Yeah, they failed.
The Waterworld of Kevin Costner ate his own heart instead of drinking his own pee.
So
I like that, Nathan.
But I want to know how they're able to like maintain society to the point where they can still do heart transplants the way they normally would.
Well, when they're in the streets, it's like maybe like an inch of standing water. It didn't really seem like it was that deep in the streets.
Well, there's a couple, Jeremy. There's a couple of long shots of people in speedboats. Going along the Thames. I mean,
yeah, they're driving down the river in a boat, huh?
Yeah.
Guess the streets are flooded.
The whole world is what's that town that is all
Venice?
Is it Venice?
Venice, Italy, the one that's sinking.
Yeah.
Where like all the there's like all the canals everywhere. Yeah, Venice.
Is that Venice though? That seems terribly inconvenient. I don't know why anybody would live there.
And that actually, strangely enough, brings me to a point that I wanted to make about this movie. When I was talking, I don't remember if this was when we first started the podcast or if this was after or beforehand. Yeah, after we ended the podcast in the future. Now I was talking about how I was kind of disappointed in this movie because I was expecting it to have a different type of feeling, and talking about Venice is a good way to bring this up. I expected it kind of to feel more like Terminator 2 Shocking Dark.
Oh.
Which took
that
place
had to
in
have
Venice.
been before the podcast.
Yeah.
Because we watched that before the podcast. That was in the mythical days. Everybody, like that's part of like the backstory of the True Blue Riffcast is like that 2-year period.
Yeah.
When you and I watched all these insane movies together.
Yeah.
That we talk about constantly. It's the time of Dinosaur Island and stuff.
Yeah, and Light Blast, Haunted Ween, Shocking Dark was part of that.
Yeah.
But Shocking Dark is another movie that I would love to see riffed. But that movie had that was one of those Italian like knockoff horror movies that they just have that ghost house feeling to them.
Yeah, where it's just like nothing is like correct.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I was
like,
kind of hoping to get
nothing
that
is correct.
out of this. And this is just the wrong kind of bad creature movie.
It's just a standard riff track schlock movie. I mean, that's really all it is.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I don't really want to get too much into the plot. Not that there's like spoilers,
well, there's
but
not much of one.
Right. There is a partial something to this movie. Like there's inklings of a plot. There's a loose story here about this creature killing people, and apparently it has a psychic link to Rutger Hauer. Because of when he heard him back when they first encountered it, when his other partner died. And that was hilarious, by the way. There's a scene, a flashback, where Harley Stone and his partner are walking through, I don't know, sewers or something. And they're in ankle-deep water. And all of a sudden, the partner just drops through the floor. Like, just... And I laughed at that way harder than I probably should have, but I laughed at that because he just kind of vanishes through a flooded trap door or something.
Well, let's just hit all the highlights of just like parts of the movie that we can remember, because so much of this movie is just forgettable.
Dick Dorkins gets shot through a window with a shotgun.
I was literally just about to say that because I was listening. Last night or the night before, it was the night before because I was listening to an audiobook last night. It has nothing to do with the podcast. But I was listening to our Dangerous Men podcast. I actually sometimes go back and listen to our podcast sometimes and be like, just so I can go back and listen to what an awesome podcast I'm a part of. and hear all the hilarious things that I had to say once upon a time that I forgot that I said. But I listened to the Dangerous Men. And I just remembered, do you remember the rape sting in Dangerous Men, where a woman, it was one of the many attempted rapes in that movie.
Yeah, and, like the rape montage or attempted rape montage.
Clint Cuckoo saves a woman from getting raped on a beach. And he just knocks the guy out with that weird kind of like knot wrestling move.
Yes.
Remember this?
Remember that, yes.
And then like seconds later, they do like a rape sting. And they like lure the guy in, and Clint Cuckoo gets his foot caught in between the cushions of the seat.
Yes.
And he can't go out and save this woman that he set up to get raped. And he's finally able to get free and just walks like the Terminator towards the rapist. And the rapist is just like unloading on him. And it doesn't even faze him at all. Like that's what like whatever Clint Cuckoo was wearing, the Clint Cuckoo plot armor.
Yes.
Who then went down to flaming defeat in a fight against Black Pepper. But whatever he was wearing, Dick
Durkins, but I like Dick Dorkins better.
Dick Dorkins. Yeah, let's call him that from now on. Who said that? Josh?
No, that was me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that was a Jeremy Pluta original, Dick Dorkins. Dick Dorkins was wearing whatever Clint Cuckoo was wearing. That's another thing we need to add to the True Blue Riff Tracks lexicon. It's either Clint Cuckoo armor or Dick Dorkins armor.
Yeah. You guys help us pick. People who are listening here right now.
Is it Clint Cuckoo armor or Dick Dorkins armor?
One of the two. But yeah, he should not have survived that, even with a standard issue bulletproof vest on. That's
right. And he shows back up like, hey, and then Rutger Hauer is like, what? And he flips out, but he sees his partner again that he very justifiably thought was quite dead.
Yeah,
and he's just being like, no, it's wearing a bulletproof vest, and he just decks him. He just punches him right in his face.
I think he deserved it, though. I mean,
and Dick Dorkins is like, oh, it's cool, happens all the time.
All right, Atomic Hero Squad and Josh Flowers both said Dorkins, so Dick Dorkins. Okay, armor.
so is it Dick Dorkins armor or just Dorkins armor? I say Dorkins armor.
Dorkins armor. Dorkins armor.
So yes, Dorkins armor. Okay, so that is the official term we will use from now on whenever somebody who should be dead.
Dorkins armor. I'm writing all this down.
There was another movie we watched where a guy, it was this year, I think was it Fugitive Rage, where all these movies blend together now. It was the woman prison movie. I think it was Fugitive Rage.
Yeah.
Where the woman goes in and tries to blow the defendant away, the gangster away, like shoots him like 6 times in the courtroom,
like an arm's length away, almost point blank.
Yeah.
She unloads a full revolver into him.
Yeah, that's Dorkin's armor.
Yes, because that dude should have died.
Yeah, so that's another example of Dorkin's armor. Listeners of the True Blue Riffcast, give us your own examples of Dorkin's armor, whether Riff Tracks related or not. We don't care. It's just anything to keep us from talking about Split Second.
Cop around. Okay. So we've got Dorkin's armor. I'm making an official document here, and I will post this list on the
True Blue Riffcast
True Blue Patreon.
Yeah, it's the True Blue Riff Tracks lexicon.
Hobgoblins, where the guy survives a grenade. Josh says that one. Yeah, I'd say that would be. Those grenades didn't work right either, though.
No, that's not how grenades work. Grenades don't erupt into flame. And okay. Well, let's refrain from ripping on Rick Sloan because we do want to get him on the podcast eventually.
Oh, he knows. I think he's in the same mindset as David Giancola with his movies.
Wow.
From things that I've seen of Rick Sloan.
I know that, but it's
Michael Esquire says Samurai Cop definitely has some Dorkin's armor. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
There's definitely some Dorkin's armor in the.
Yeah, there's
some
Dorkin's armor happening there. But anyway, is there anything else with Split Second that we need to talk about? I mean, I think we covered all the bases.
Not giving away the actual plot of what
we see
little
Kim
there
Cattrall's
is.
boobs in it, which is
for half a
not
second.
Surprising.
No, it's Kim Cattrall. Any movie
Kim
that she
Cattrall
was
is
in
my fan. Okay,
outside of
she likes Mystery Science Storybook. I happen to know this for a fact.
Hey, cool. She likes
she
your
was a
books.
Mystery Science. Yeah, she was a Mystery Science Storybook fan. Yeah. So I'm not going to talk bad about Kim Cattrall. I'll just be like, hey, I've seen your nipples, and you had kind of a weird wig in Star Trek 6.
Josh Flowers asks, we can't answer this one, Josh, because neither of us were able to see it, but he asked if anything in Swamp Thing counted. We don't know. We haven't seen the
Yeah. I don't know, Josh, I don't know if you caught the beginning of the podcast, but neither one of us were able to make it to the show. But we will talk about it when the VOD comes out.
Yes. Which we generally do anyway with the riff.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually how we do it.
So let's move on to Josh missed the first 10 minutes of the episode. Yeah, that's
okay.
Yes, unfortunately, neither of us were able to go see it, mostly because of the distance.
And we're both
to
quite
get there
upset about
it. Yeah, and working situations for both of us kind of screwed that up this year. But we'll see it in mid-October. We'll be able to see it when the VOD comes out. 60 days after the live show.
When it drops, as they say in the biz. That's a Business Insider term. When it drops
and we get our free VODs for backing the Kickstarter.
When it drops, that means it's made publicly available for purchase. Hello.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
I was typing. All right. So plot for Split Second. I'm gonna go with 1.5.
No, I'm going 1.
1.
So I guess we're going with 1.5.
All right, 1.5. We'll we'll defer to that. The acting.
Oh, hey, look, Kim Cattrall's not a bad actress. So, and she's also my number one fan. This is true, everybody. She does like Mystery Science Storybook. I have proof of it on Twitter. That's a real thing. I'm not making this up.
I believe you.
But so I'm gonna say 2, just because
Josh says there was really nothing for the actors to do in this movie. I would agree with that. But they did okay with what they had. And I mentioned this to Dave earlier when I was watching this. that there are two actors in this movie that are also in Scrooged.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to take your word on that.
if anyone in the chat can tell me who they are, then you get 5 points. 5 points today. Dialogue.
It's okay, so the only two people who I know are in Scrooged are Bill Murray and the skeleton that's on the poster with him. So that's all I know about Scrooged.
Neither of them are in this movie.
Oh, okay.
The dialogue, again, it's not...
Yeah.
It's not good. Oh, boy. Cinematography.
Well, okay, I'm going to give it a 3, and I'll tell you why. Oh, no, wait. Cinematography?
Yeah.
Okay, I will save the excuse making and giving credit to certain people for another one. But for this one, for cinematography, for one coming up. But cinematography, 2.
2. It wasn't awful. We've seen better, though. We've seen better cinematography in worse movies.
We've seen better cinematography in Mikey.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're not wrong.
And this movie was released in theaters, and Mikey has better cinematography than this.
And Mikey was direct-to-video.
Yeah.
Editing.
I guess 3.
3. Oh, I want to mention, since you brought up the fact that this movie was released in the theaters, would you like to know the budget and how much it made?
Oh, I know. I looked this up myself. I don't remember
you already
because
saw it?
I watched this like 11 days ago. But I know that it's horrific.
A budget of $7 million.
Okay.
Probably all that water. And it made $5.4 million in the box office.
Man, that means it lost its freaking pants.
Yeah.
It's walking around with a barrel around its waist.
It did not do good. It opened to $2.2 million opening weekend, and it made $5 million worldwide.
That's
the
bad.
total it made was $5.4 million, and its opening weekend it was $2.2 million.
Let's do a fun thing. Compare that to Gumby 1.
To Gumby?
How much did Gumby 1 make?
Let's see. Gumby the movie, released in 1995. Oh no. Made $57,000.
Oh no. Okay, that was a horrible thing for me to do because I thought that. Okay, well, I just this is the. Hey, write this down. This is the Val Kilmer effect for the True Blue Riffcast.
The things that you didn't know.
Things that just blow up. It's broader than that. Things that blow up in Dave's face, live on the True Blue Riffcast, is a Val Kilmer, not effect, but a Val Kilmer moment. Let's put it. Dave had another Val Kilmer moment.
Things that blow up in Dave's face. Val Kilmer moment.
Yeah, just totally, just like I thought it was going to go one way, and it just completely blew up in my face.
For those of you not familiar with what Val Kilmer moment refers to, it was when Dave was discussing Top Gun Maverick after watching it in theaters and not knowing beforehand that Val Kilmer had throat cancer and can't talk on his own anymore.
Okay, now
Josh says the Val Kilmer bit is still one of his favorite moments from the True Blue Riffcast.
In my defense, I thought that the producers didn't have any faith at all in his acting ability. And that they're just be like, hey, we're going to have him in the movie, but we're not going to have him talk. We're just going to have him act through a computer. And I thought that was like the biggest insult, but apparently it's a big deal.
Yeah, I actually...
And Jeremy, and I found out live on the show that Val Kilmer
I didn't know if you were being serious or not, so I kind of just kept letting you talk until I was sure.
Okay.
And that's why it took me a minute to interrupt you about it. But my wife and I actually, this is a side note, we just watched the Amazon original documentary Val, about Val Kilmer's life, and it was very interesting to watch. He actually made it himself with the help of his son, who did a lot of the voiceover for him.
And he does not have throat cancer, right?
His son, no, just
okay, good. So I can make I can make all the Val Kilmer son's jokes that I like. Okay, cool.
But if you've ever been interested in Val Kilmer at all, or you just like interesting documentaries, it's just called Val. It's on Amazon Prime. It was pretty good. Okay, Dave. Now we're on to a category that I think might be the highest scoring, aside from the riffs at the very end. But this is effects.
Okay, so effects. Okay, so this is where I'm going to give certain people in this movie some credit. Okay, this movie is, sorry Twitch, and sorry Jeremy, but this movie is ugly as shit. Okay, it might be one of the ugliest Riff Tracks movies out there.
Yeah,
I mean, like I can't think of very many uglier movies in Riff Tracks. Like off the top of my head, Baby Ghost I think is uglier.
Things.
Yeah. like anything that makes Roller Gator look like Lord of the Rings, and I'm not even joking. That sounds like a joke.
It's true though, unfortunately.
Yeah. But where they just go on this Roller Gator is a vast epic journey compared to Baby Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for all the horrible things about this, I mean, it's uglier than Sunset Strip. It's uglier than what's that movie with David Carradine that I like a lot? Future Force. It's uglier and stupider than all those movies. But the fact that there was water everywhere, Jamie and I were talking about this. The fact that there was water everywhere, that set must have been a colossal nightmare.
Oh, that would have sucked.
Like, it just must have been pure hell to be on the set of this movie.
Could you imagine acting in this movie and your feet are just wet the whole time?
Yeah.
Like you're wearing shoes and socks and they're just wet the whole time.
Yeah, for this movie.
That's disgusting.
So
for this movie. Yeah.
So you do all this and you make Split Second. I think that we haven't even talked about the monster.
I kind of liked what we saw of the monster. I think it looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
They did make a comment that it was if H.R. Geiger created Venom.
Yeah, it's not like the creature from the haunted cooter or whatever that was. Yeah. It wasn't a dopey, stupid Roger Corman monster.
No.
It wasn't God Monster of Indian Flats. It wasn't
a bad puppet like from Feeders.
Yeah, it wasn't any of these. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was okay.
No, it was all right.
But I think that I will give, as far as effects, just to give credit to all the people who presumably spent 6 or 8 weeks of their lives making this garbage. It just must have been hell for them. I mean, they're pros. They all got paid, which is good. And
I hope they all got paid.
This is not one of those movies where people don't get paid. It appeared in theaters. But I think to
Dave, are you there?
Just to acknowledge how awful that must have been, and the logistics and everything involved with making having all that water everywhere for no reason. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, your internet kind of went on slow motion for a second.
To give props to them, I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah, I think
I said I give it a 4.
I think I would do that too. I think I would go for a 4 there. especially comparatively to the rest of the film.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanna see who did this here. Where's the full? I'm gonna look up this other guy who played Dick Dorkins. Alistair Duncan.
I bet he never acted again.
I don't know. He's got a picture on IMDb.
It's a very young Viggo Mortensen.
He did. Oh, here we go. He's actually done quite a bit of things. A lot of it looks like voice work, though. I
will give you. I will give $10 to everybody in the chat right now. Giving $10 to everybody in the chat right now, not guaranteed. If he was in Gargoyles.
Well, let's see. He was on a couple episodes of Blossom.
Wow.
Let's see. Murder, She Wrote. The TV version of Hercules: The Legendary Journeys. Highlander. Xena, Warrior Princess. The Wonderful World of Disney. Babylon 5.
Remember when that was a thing?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
He's a working actor then.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where he also played the same character then in the spin-off Angel. Charmed.
Oh, so he's a big deal.
Yeah, he's done a lot. He did some voices in some Star Wars video games. Siphon Filter. X-Men Legends 2.
So he could probably afford to live in Hollywood.
He voiced Alfred in a couple different iterations of the Batman.
No two Batmans are the same.
Yeah, Uncharted 3, Skyrim, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He's done a lot of stuff. No Gargoyles, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
But there we go. Alistair Duncan.
Sorry, everybody in the chat. You don't get to get stiffed by me.
Oh, man. Special effects. I was trying to see if there was like this looks like in-house. They just had in-house special effects people. They didn't go to like a studio for it.
Well, they all get a 4 for putting up with that crap.
Good job, guys. Josh said they all wanted to split the money. Sound and music.
1.
Yeah. Nothing memorable in this movie. Nothing memorable at all.
Well, I mean, it is memorable. It's memorable to me because it's a spin on these garbage.
I mean, the music-wise, there was nothing.
I don't even remember the music. Okay, look, guys, I did watch this.
There's nothing memorable in this music movie.
I don't remember hardly any of it.
In this movie, music-wise. All right. Now, this movie was directed by 2 people.
Just like Super Mario Brothers.
And it was worse than Super Mario Brothers. Ian Sharp and Tony Malum. Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
At least, I don't know. At least I was more entertained watching Super Mario Brothers than I was watching this movie. Did
you know? I don't know if this is true or not. You may have told me this on an episode of the True Blue Riffcast, and tell me if it is. And this doesn't qualify as a Val Kilmer moment because I'm fully acknowledging that Jeremy may have told me this on the True Blue Riffcast. But someone told me recently, and I can't remember if it was you on this podcast or not, that Bob Hoskins had no idea what Super Mario Brothers even was until after. Like, he had no idea that there was even a video game until after
I don't think I told you that, but there is a video clip that was just going around like last week of an interview where Bob Hoskins was talking about he had no idea it was based on a video game until his son told him. He's like, "Yeah, you're that guy right there that jumps around." And he was not happy to hear that. Bob Hoskins hated everything about that movie.
Yeah, he famously hates Super Mario Brothers.
Like, I feel bad for him being in that movie. But you know who else hates Super Mario Brothers? Mike Nelson.
Yeah.
He absolutely Here's a little tidbit, a little Riff Tracks trivia. He absolutely hated doing that movie. He said it was one of the worst experiences ever.
Really?
Yeah, he hated it.
Well,
it was at the time, it was his least favorite movie to riff. I'm sure that's been surpassed
yeah, I'm
now.
pretty sure that's been surpassed now. They did Baby Ghost, for God's sake.
They've done Baby Ghost. They've done things.
Fun fact about myself and Mike Nelson, and you can listen to my interview from 2015 with Mike Nelson, where Mike Nelson actually called me on the phone from his house, which was amazing. That's on YouTube. Go find it. Back when Super Mario Brothers came out, I did my own little cute drawings that I haven't done in a while, because I've kind of shifted focus in my life of the Super Mario Brothers. And Mike Nelson retweeted that on Twitter back before he famously, back when he had a Twitter. He said, "This is so good," and in parentheses he said, "The art, of course, not the
movie."
Not the movie.
Yes, before he proved that he was smarter than all of us, and deleted
by deleting
Twitter account.
social media. Yeah, Mike
Because
Nelson is such a king. Like everything, like I don't think we actually talk about the actual Riff Tracks guys enough on the podcast. Our focus really is more on the movies.
Yeah,
but like, how much of a hero is Mike Nelson? I mean, I think I look up to that guy. Like, he is a god. Like, just, he's amazing.
I really genuinely like almost everybody that works for Riff Tracks that I've met. Like, there's nobody that works for Riff Tracks that I think is a bad person that I've met. There's still some people that I haven't ever talked to, but I still doubt that they're bad people, because they're all a bunch of good eggs.
I used to be a lot closer to the organization than I am right now. I mean, that just comes and goes naturally. Yeah. But back when I was like really close to the organization, they're all good folks. I still consider them all my friends. So,
Josh said he had a brief conversation with so many of them in Nashville. They're all so awesome. Yes, I would agree with that. They're all really, really fine, upstanding people.
Josh Flowers, did you go to Riff Tracks Live the other day?
I don't know that he went this year.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. We'll find out. Yes, he did. You son of a bitch. Yes, I said that live on the... I didn't mean it, though. I was just being funny. But yeah, that's cool.
Balls.
I'm glad you got to go.
Minute, everybody.
I'm glad you got to go and have a good time and enjoy it.
Excuse me.
Yes, I was going to have you... Wasn't I going to have you ask Eric something when you were there? I don't know if you had the chance or not. I think it was you that said you were going to ask
if they listen to the podcast. They don't. But anyway, I suppose we should
Directing. Back to directing. Eric wasn't there. Okay. That's
directing. Zero.
Zero. Wow.
Zero. Big fat zero.
I think that's a first. And then the overall character / personality of the movie itself, which we mention a lot, is very important. It's a very important factor in these films.
Okay, look, I'm going to be generous.
No.
I'm going to give it a 2 just because of all the water.
I was going to say 2 also.
Just because of all the water. Okay, here's the thing. Without the water, it's another stupid effing garbage can on fire dystopia that I hate. I mean, I still hate it.
But it's not because of burning barrels. It's because of flat streets, yes.
Yeah.
And the riffs, again,
okay, this one was dark. This had some dark riffs in it that I loved. So I'm giving the riffs a 4.
Very dark riffs. I'm going to give it a 4.5. I like it. I like it when they go dark. Then I like it that they don't do it all the time.
I won't go
because if you're just dark all the time, But there's some really dark. I do like the bit when Bill started doing he's like, Golden Corral's new. You know what? Never mind. It's too easy.
I felt they should have gone for it. I think they should have gone for it there.
I liked it though. It was a nice little Switch. I do like that they kept bringing up different events that happened in both 1992 and 2008.
2008, yeah.
Like oh, I'm so upset. I just found out that Robert Downey got cast as Iron Man. Because it's 2008.
Yeah.
And yeah, good stuff like that I really enjoyed. I like that they kept making jokes about the two cops that looked like each other. The chief and the other just patrol officer, I guess. I don't know. But they kept making jokes that they were the same person. Even when they were right next to each other on the screen. They're just like, look, see, same person. They did that a lot, and I enjoyed it. I like it when they do new running gags like that.
Okay.
That they run throughout a film.
So, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to give it 4.5. I don't think it's quite at 5. I think 5 is reserved for things like Roller Gator and, like The Room and just like Riff Tracks classics. I think that's what 5s are reserved for. And this, I don't even remember half of it, but...
I agree. Sorry guys, I had to go grab my phone, which by the way, I had to replace the other day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, we should tell that story.
I had a bad day.
You want to tell the story about? Well, no. Okay, it wasn't just one bad day, Jeremy. How many times have we tried to record this podcast?
Okay, so last week we were going to do this. What last Monday? And
yeah, we're gonna do this we were gonna do this 10 days ago.
I had a flood in the bathroom. My pipes in my sink broke.
So we had to postpone then.
I had to do some light construction that day, which I'm not great at. I'm not a very handy person, so it didn't go very smooth. It's in. It's good. It's all fine. And then. Right after that, I got my car running again, finally, after 2 months.
But then did something happen with your kid?
My son's car died.
Yeah.
So his car's not working. And he just started a new job last week. So for a few days there, my poor wife had to take me to work in the morning. There was one day, literally, she had to get up at 5:30 to take me to work because I had to be there by 6. And then my son had to be to work at 8:30. And then she had to be to work at 9. And then she had to go back and pick us all up later in the day. And that
I only have to worry about it. I only have to worry about a cat.
If my car would have still not been running up to next week, then it would be a disaster because I have to be to work at 6 a couple days a week. My kids have to be to school by 7:45. My son has to be to work on the days that he works at 8:30. So it's just a lot of running around all over, everywhere. Thankfully, my car's running. It did die again a couple days ago, but we figured out what the actual problem is, or was. It was my stupid car charger, for my phone.
Oh, yeah, that's no good.
That is not supposed to be able to still draw power when the car's off. But it was still drawing power when the car was off, even with nothing attached to it. So it was slowly draining my battery. So that was fun. And then a couple days ago, I was letting the dogs out in the morning, and our puppy, our giraffe of a dog, was trying to get...
Heard it.
She
never quite
looks
heard
like
it
a
put that way
giraffe.
before.
She's got the big, long, lanky legs. She still kind of walks like a baby giraffe, still trying to learn, because she's just
you have
gangly
a freak
and awkward.
Dog.
I do.
You have a freak dog.
She's
I've
gangly
never
and
heard
awkward.
anybody talk about their dog like that.
And she likes playing with the plastic garbage cans that we use for the yard waste and stuff. And so she was trying to grab the trash can, and I was trying to grab it from her, and she hit my hand with her head and sent my phone flying. And the screen landed directly on the corner of a cement block that holds up the pillar for the back porch.
Oh, no.
It destroyed it. I have it over here somewhere because I want to get it fixed. Because I think
Jeremy, just let it go. Let it go, man.
For like 100. Well, that way, if any other one of us has a problem with our phone, if something like this happens again, I'm gonna show everybody. This is my screen. It is obliterated. Because it was a good phone. It was a Google Pixel 5. You know, it wasn't a crappy budget phone. But then I had to go get a new phone, so I have a new phone. I'm actually still trying to figure out how to get it set up because it's a newer operating system and blah, 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 and all that fun stuff. So it's been a week. And then I was really sick the last couple of days. Really sick. There are a lot of places that fix screens for cheap. Yes, yeah. Josh, that is true. However, the first place I called, they said it would be $300 to fix my phone screen. Yeah. So that
point is, on each of those days, we were supposed to talk about split second.
Yes, and maybe for like iPhones or stuff that's more popular, it would be cheaper. But I of course I don't like Apple, so I'm not going to have an iPhone. But
you sound like that guy who
I don't care. Me. No, I don't care if you have Apple stuff. Okay, I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy who's like
you know what that guy does.
You use Apple.
Apple, those he calls Apple a right-wing con company.
What?
That's what he calls Apple. He's that crazy.
Okay. Sure, you be you, dude. I mean, I know he's nuts because I've seen some of the stuff, but
yeah.
That's taking it to a whole new level.
Do you want to know? And we'll just talk about this here on the True Blue Riffcast. Me and him actually made up recently because he had a heart attack, and he posted about it on his website, and I was like, oh no. So I just wrote in the comments, hey man, hope you get better, and he really appreciated that.
Wow.
So now he's is my best friend. I mean, not really, but it's like he's not going to try to dox me or get me fired from jobs that I invented to make him believe that I lived in Israel. So he wouldn't publish my address in Utah.
Oh, that's great. I did not know about that part of it. That is.
Oh,
brilliant.
You didn't? Okay.
I love that, Dave. Oh man. Well, anyway,
everybody in the chat is so confused.
Yes, they are. I'm sure. Split Second earns an overall score of 21 out of 50, and it's Josh said this part of this plan, faking a heart attack.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, but yeah, Split Second. I would say to get this one eventually. I don't think this is necessarily one you need to run right out and get. I don't feel personally like it would be it's not like an instant classic. It's still worth watching at least once. Maybe if it goes on a weekly sale or shows up on Friends.
Yes. Or maybe watch it on Twitch, or maybe just don't bother.
You won't be missing too much. I don't think they'll reference this movie or this riff in any future riffs. That's usually reserved for the classics and the instant classics, movies they know people are going to absolutely.
There were some Here's the thing. There were some Copper Mountain references in this movie, I think.
Which would be fitting because of how we feel about Copper Mountain and this movie. So maybe they feel the same way.
I don't resent Split Second. I don't.
But you resent Copper Mountain.
Yeah, I don't consider it it is garbage filler, but when I say let's be real here. This is a filler release. I mean, that's what it is. Nothing wrong with that. They have to release new material, and this is one here's another one, Well,
and it came out right before the live show.
Yeah.
And
it's not
usually the ones that come out right before the live shows are they're fillers. They're not.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get some good ones, but usually
there are two exceptions. In 2015, Julie and Jack came out before the live show, and Ruby came out like the day after Mothra.
Yeah.
So
we also got Stone Cold the day after. What was that?
Like it was one of the 2015 ones.
Yeah, yeah. We got Stone Cold, and Stone Cold was a good one. I liked it anyway.
2015 was such a great year for Rift Tracks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes, it was.
It was so awesome.
But yeah, that's gonna wrap things up for the podcast today. If you would care to stay tuned, we are going to be playing some Rift Tracks the game on stream. I don't know if Dave will be able to actually join us.
Well, I'll have to walk back as usual. It's going to be the
I know you have to walk
thing.
back home.
How many times have I walked back to play Rift Tracks the games with you people?
A couple.
Like 25 minutes after the fact. Yeah.
But I don't know if how long Dave's going to be with us. I know he.
Yes, I do have to go to bed.
Yes, he has to go to sleep so he can work overnight again.
Yes, well, I'm also in the middle of writing my new book, which is going to get finished come hell or high water now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a thing. I might sacrifice an hour of sleep for that because I'm on a roll. I've been writing every single day for like a week and a half. So making lots of good progress on that.
Good. That's good to hear. I'm excited to read what you're going to be putting out next.
Nice.
Especially after reading Monkey. I still really love Monkey. Hey guys, if you haven't read Monkey yet.
Someone on Facebook today called Monkey shockingly bad. It was shockingly bad, Dave. I'm like, okay, I definitely trust your opinion, woman who obviously hates me. So,
was it in that one authors group?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah. Like in the group of 65,000 people who hate my guts.
Yeah,
there are some
really
people
do.
in there who think that I write like trash.
Well, there's some people who don't deserve to have their opinions heard online.
Yes, and those I'm sure she also loves Ready Player One.
And The Great Gatsby.
By the way, Josh Flowers, I know you listen to 365 pages. Do you have a copy of Super Constitution, yes or no, real quick?
Let's see. I know there's a bit of a delay in the chat. So let's see. He says he do not. I do not.
I need that. I need that book.
It's impossible to get.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see about that. I take that as a challenge.
It's impossible. Like, the one other person on Earth I know who listens to that podcast doesn't have it. So, but yeah, I suppose we should wrap up.
Yeah, probably. If you enjoyed the podcast today, and you would like to support us, you can do that in the following ways. You can subscribe right here on Twitch. Twitch, if you're listening to this after the fact, twitch.tv/pbnawesome. You can go over to patreon.com/trueblueriffcast, and you can subscribe there. Michael Esquire says that they have a copy, Dave.
What?
Yeah, in the chat. You'll have to get in touch with them.
I can't take his. I just want to know if somebody actually has it, because like I came late to the game on that one. I'm getting caught up on the podcast, and I listened to the most recent one, and I was like, I have to get a copy of this book, but it's impossible to find.
So yeah, you can. Well, you can email him. He'll give out his email here in a minute. And you can also drop some bits here in Twitch chat. Also, make sure you follow us on the Twitch chat so you never miss when we go live. You'll always be informed of that. And you can follow us on the Twitter for the podcast. We usually post some stuff on there. At TB Riffcast on Twitter, and we do have a very underutilized Discord, which there is a link to that on the Twitter account. You can also follow me on Twitter at PBandAwesome.
And you can check me out on the web at davechadwick.info. Check me out on Twitter, dchadwick at dchadwickauthor. Check out all my books and audiobooks on Amazon and Audible. And yeah, Son of Santa is probably going to be finished up here pretty quick. And I'm very excited to hear it and get that out there for everybody.
All right, that's going to do it for today's podcast. Make sure you stay tuned. We're not going anywhere. We'll just be taking a short break. Going to play the theme song again and probably run an ad break after that just to get everything set up on my side. And then we'll play a couple short games until Dave gets back and is able to join us for a game or two. So if you're not going to stick around, thanks for listening. What's up? What's up,
Make
Dave?
Riftbot dumb. I don't want that to be the whole thing again, where we're all trying to, where the whole purpose of the game is us trying to beat Riftbot.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll make sure we set it up so Riftbot's IQ is very low. Okay. So for those of you not able to stick around, or if you're listening to this after the fact, thank you for listening, and we will see you next time on the True Blue Riffcast.
Rock till you die.
I got my own guitar, I know the chords. I play my cigar, lay it flat on the floor. The east and the west, their battle won't matter. Only the music can settle the score. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Yeah, bones are pick my eyes, and when they eat my flesh. But I got the power to win all the hours to rock my life away. The sound of the crowd, the creak of the bones. I play it so loud with my mates or alone. It don't really matter if my world should shatter. I hold it together in iron and stone. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn back to bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die.